met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Originally constructed in 1996, Las Vegas Motor Speedway held its first major event in September of that year. An Indy Racing League race won by Richie Hearn. The first NASCAR event, a NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race, followed 2 months later. NASCAR Xfinity Series paid a visit in '97 before the Cup Series arrived in 1998, marking the beginning of the track's long-term success. Changes to the oval in 2006 made it a more competitive venue for stock cars. This major renovation revamped the banking, upping it from a modest 12 degrees to 20. Not only that, but the corners were banked progressively, meaning the further up the racing surface, the steeper the banking. Lap times got quicker, racing got more competitive. The current stock car track record held by Kurt Busch, just over 196 miles per hour. Tonight, it's the Garza Law Firm Las Vegas 100, and it's next on HBR TV. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the virtual Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I'm Steve Singer with HBR TV. Let's take a look at the race details for tonight. 82-degree ambient temperature, 56% humidity. Given that we're in the desert, kind of humid, actually. Clear skies, 2-mile-per-hour breeze, also uncharacteristic for Las Vegas. Not really breezy at all right now. That's kind of a change. And an 84-degree track temperature. That's going to make for some quick times here in qualifying, as we're just about a minute away from that. Let's jump down here trackside, check out practice, and see where everyone is stacking up within the timing tower. Drew Blaze fastest with a 30.50. Then it's Tristan Sykes. He's not supposed to be fast in a place like this. There's no dirt out here. Those of you that are new to the broadcast, Tristan Sykes certainly a very competitive race driver when it comes to dirt racing. He won here a few weeks ago on Bristol Dirt. He's going to try his hand here at Las Vegas, only 300ths shy of the top time. Chris Watkins third quick. James Ray fourth. Chris Klein fifth. Again, just about 10 seconds left in the session. We'll get right into qualifying to set the field for tonight's race. Again, it is the Garza Law Firm Las Vegas 100. As you might have expected, brought to you by Garza Law Firm. So Drew Blaze is effectively going to win the practice session. And we'll see who hits pit lane first, who rolls first. Looks like Randy Coaching is going to be the first one at the end of pit lane, the number 19. Mad Dog Graphics Chevy Silverado. He's just sitting there waiting. I think he's going to watch the track temp here a little bit. We'll see Kevin Grettenberger in the pits. He's going to roll the number 57 Whataburger machine. Every time I see this truck, I want to get something to eat. And Matt Sisler in the chat says, hey, Steve and chat, should be a great race. Jealous of these guys because this is one of my favorite combos in iRacing. Matt, where are you, man? I know we all got jobs, but if you can't come here and race, get a new job. Just saying. Grettenberger out 4. Across the stripe here, he's going to take the green flag. Hails from Cypress, Texas. Lap 1 about to go in the books for Grettenberger. Where does he land? Where does he land? First one across the stripe, 31:47. Expect to see some faster times on that next lap. We're going to jump over to Brett Guzik, though. He's actually, no, he's not finished. He's taking his sweet time on his out lap. We'll check back on that later. Chris Klein, first lap, 31:06. Klein out of Buford, Georgia, in the Beaver Direct Toyota machine. Is it Beaver Toyota? Is it Beaver Direct? I don't know. Maybe it's both. Yeah, Beaver Toyota. All right. Grettenberger goes faster on his second lap of 30:92. Does Chris Klein improve? Way down low. Almost in the grass. Where does he land? Fourth quick. 31:021 for the 51. Drew Blaze just crossing the line for his second lap. 39:55 puts him P3. Meanwhile, James Ray goes to the point very quickly. 30.919. James out of Highland, Illinois. Tristan Sykes, number 99. Remember, we talked about his dirt background, but he was fast in practice. Second fast, to be specific. Let's see if he's got enough to knock off James Ray from the provisional pole. Close times there on the scoreboard there. Looks second and third place. The identical lap time. Grettenberger must have beat Brandon Domain by just a hair. Sykes, lap 2. Start finish. Fourth quick, 30.954 for the 99. A good starting spot. Justin Johnson making it back. The 10X, lap 2 for Justin. Fourth quick, 30.950. Some heavy hitters here late in the session. Brett Guzik trying it again. I don't know what Guzik's deal is here. My assumption is here he's got a win penalty to serve for this race, but I think you don't get the hard charger unless you actually go out and quote-unquote qualify. Fast lap, 59 seconds, where it should have been about 30 or less, but we'll see how that one plays out. Jarrett Woodard on the track. Illinois number 79 machine. I feel like we were just here. The week went by quick. The top times right now, 30.91. Grettenberger a 92. Domain a 92. Yet it probably gets a little tighter when you go out to the thousands place, but we don't have that option here in the timing tower, at least not as of yet. Sure, it's just a simple setting that I could play with, but we'll cross that bridge at a later date. Woodard goes 31:37, his first lap, 17th quick. Catching up on the stream chat, Mitchell Howell. Wish me luck. Well, consider this officially me wishing you good luck. Ryan Shepard, hopefully I can get a good finish after last week's bad strategy. Brian Shepard, usually in that, I think it's the number 88 truck. Usually one to watch. 31.054 for Woodard. He sits 16th. Mitchell Howell, good lap of qualifying. 30.930. His is wrapped up here, but he's P4, row number 2. And not enough time left on the clock to wrap up qualifying. It's over where it stands. A few drivers not taking a time at all, but that's okay. They'll line up those that didn't qualify in order of their I rating status. Back of the field, Brett Guzik 20th, Winker 21st, Ken Blackburn 22nd. But let's not look at the back of the pack. Let's look at the whole field. Our starting grid for tonight's Garza Law Firm Las Vegas 100 on the pole position with Adrenaline Spikes design, the 00 of James Ray, 30.919, the lap time for the 00. Outside front row, missed it by 7 1/1000ths of a second. Kevin Grettenberger, the number 57. Whataburger machine. Brandon Domain, there you see it. He missed it by 8 thousandths, which means he missed the front row by 1 1/1000th of a second. Really tight qualifying here at Vegas. Mitchell Howell, 4th quick. 5th is going to be Justin Johnson in the 10 or X, depending on how you want to look at it. Tristan Sykes rolls from row 3 on the outside. He'll start P6. Drew Blaze from Lonestar Racing in the number 1. He'll start 7th. Derek Welch rolls from the 8th position. Chris Watkins in the number 5. He'll start from the 9th spot. 10th goes to Scott Beardmore. Brian Shepard looking for a strong run tonight. Maybe a new strategy out of the 88. He'll start 11th. Chris Klein with Numb Thumbs Racing, the Beaver Direct Toyota. He'll start in the 12th spot. Starting 13th, the 71 of Brant Morrow. Heath Snyder will roll from the 14th position. Right Turn Racing Zone, Chris Goins, the number 41 Popple Machine, will start 15th. Jarrett Woodard, the 79, 16th. Starting 17th, it's Randy Coaching, the number 19, and Sean Roberts, the number 66, will start 18th. 19th starter, Michael Eden in the 55, and then again, Brett Guzik, last week's winner, will start 20th. Kevin Winker starts 21st, and shotgun on the field, the 155. 22nd starter is Ken Blackburn. Your starting grid here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway as the field begins to roll out. Roll out. These things get stuck in my head sometimes. It's okay, I promise. Derek Welch says, my stomach is not going to make it through this race. I don't know if I want to know the details, Derek, but I hope you're feeling better, and I hope you can make it. Field trying to get formed up here down the backstretch. Again, 2x2, double file start, double file restarts. Sometimes they'll throw a yellow here to get everybody formed up the way they need to be. We got 4 or 5 trucks there at the back of the pack that are not lined up very nicely. We'll see. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Pace car down pit lane, waiting for Barney to wave the green. He's got it up in the air in hand. Green flag in the air. We're racing from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. One car diving to pit lane on the first lap. Don't know what that's all about. James Ray from the pole position. He's going to come down and hit pit road. I don't know if he's trying to work a strategy here or if he's got a problem. 00, James Ray pulls off before lap 1's even in the books. I don't see any damage on the truck. And he takes the top spot in qualifying and doesn't even lead the first lap. Is this a drive-through penalty? It looks like it is. So I got to go back, try and see if I can find any information on that, but it looks like James Ray serving a penalty likely due to something that may have happened last week. That'd be my guess. Maybe he jumped to start. I don't know, but either way, drive-through penalty served for the 0-0. James Ray goes from hero to zero, just like that. Back out front, Mitchell Howell praying for a good showing. Out front, the number 93. Can't miss that truck. That one is clear as day. Derek Welch making a look to the outside for the race lead. Welch has the nose in front of the 93. We're 3 wide already into turn 3. Tristan Sykes goes to the bottom of the racetrack, slides up a bit, stays off the door of the 93. Oh boy, 4 laps in, coming to 5 laps, and we're 3 wide for the race lead here at Las Vegas. Talk about taking a gamble. The 93 slides up in front of the 1 of Derek Welch. Tristan Sykes still on the attack to the bottom. He's got a nose in front. He slides up again, stays off the door. Well, we're not wasting any time here tonight, boys and girls. Laying that throttle to the wood. Howell defends the advance from Welch and Tristan Sykes. Great job for the 93. Battle for second. Welch to the outside, and then MTG number 1, the black and green Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. On board with Mitchell Howell from the race lead. Derek's got to run. Doesn't know where to go with it. Oh, we got trouble behind. Kevin Winker in the fence. Kevin Winker in the 28. Scott Beardmore involved in that one. First caution already in the books. I'll tell you, if I was going to make a bet after the first handful of laps, if we're going to have an early yellow, I would have gone with yes. We're going to have one. Didn't expect it necessarily there. It was the guys up at the front of the field that I thought were going to have an issue going 3 wide like that. But Scott Beardmore, Kevin Winker involved. Let's see if we can get a look at this. So down into turn 1. Is there contact already? Yeah, there is. We'll back this up a little further. I want to go to the blimp. Better shot. All right, so the 42 in the center of your screen, that's Kevin Winker. Scott Beardmore in that red and white 28 up top. And it's hard to say. I don't think Scott was coming down. They just kind of came together there right before corner turn in. Oh, and Brian Shepard gets a piece of it as well. Matt Sisler making a huge point in the stream chat. That yellow saved the 0-0 of Ray big time after that lap 1 drive-through. Absolutely did. And that's just the way it goes sometimes. We got some takers on pit road. Quite a few, actually. This is pretty significant. They got only a handful of laps in. 9 to be specific. Howell stays out. Brandon Domain stays out. And I know I typed it in the stream chat, but a couple of points I want to make. Likes, people. It's easy and it's free. What we're trying to ask you to do there is hit the like button on the stream each and every week, not just tonight. It does really help, not just us here on the channel, but also the league itself. Gets more eyeballs that wouldn't necessarily know about this. It spreads it around the algorithm with YouTube, so that's a plus. Also, we're streaming in 4K here tonight. So if your TV or your phone, your tablet, or whatever you're working with is able to stream 4K, awesome. That's a start. Make sure you hit the settings, go 21, 25, 60, whatever the heck it is, 60 frames, and set it for that. If it doesn't stutter, doesn't lag at all, you're good to go. If it does lag, and you're experiencing any kind of quality issues with that, either reduce the quality or get some better internet. Probably not going to be great on the phone unless you got real good 5G somewhere, but Wi-Fi would be preferred if you're going to try and stream the 4K. Definitely looks a whole lot better, though. So we got Dawson Guzik saying, go Guzik. Okay, we kind of figured who you were going to cheer for there. I can't imagine you're going to pull for anybody else. But Juan Fishin says, go Watkins. Talking about Chris Watkins back in the lower half of the top 10, 7th, 8th, in that vicinity. Mitchell Howell, though, the number 93, still out in front. Had a strong start to this race. Didn't take long to get up a few spots. He is the race leader as we get ready for this restart. Again, Mitchell Howell sporting the breast cancer colors, certainly. Usually I have my ribbon up for this month, but it's not there. We'll have to get that fixed for the next race. Usually it's right below the HBR TV logo, the top right of your screen. We'll get that squared away the next time. Brandon Domain also with a very colorful paint scheme with the Ghost Energy Drink Toyota number 13. So getting ready for a restart here. I think we're ready this time. Pace truck or pace car. I think it's the pace car this week. It's going to pull down pit lane. Barney's going to go at it again here. Get us back under racing conditions. Late turn in for the pace car.
Green flag, green flag.
Green back in the air. Good jump for the 93. A little bit of wheel spin, but not too bad. It's out in front. True Blaze, Brandon Domain. Tristan Sykes, Chris Goins, your top 5. True Blaze quickly gets around the 13. Gets into that second spot. Tristan Sykes, the number 99, in behind. May have Domain clear. You might just ride in the tire tracks at True Blaze here. Again, True Blaze with the grayscale paint scheme this week. I didn't think I was going to like that, but kind of do. Not sure if True painted this one or he had Fahey race wraps do it. Tristan Sykes slips a bit. Domain takes advantage to the outside. Chris Goins all over the back bumper of Sykes. Meanwhile, Derek Welch going to try and work around the outside. Goins almost slides up into the 1. Still watching this fight, backside of the top 5. Drops down to the inside in front of the 99, and Tristan Sykes again has another run, getting closer and closer to the race leader of Mitchell Howell. True Blaze is going to be hard to guard here tonight. Track a bit, opened the door, but no one really to drive through it. Derek Welch still tucked in behind in the 3rd spot. Big run down into turns 1 and 2, gets to the back bumper of the 93 of Howell, slides up the track a bit, gets some fresh air on the nose of that NTG number 1. Still tucked in behind Mitchell Howell. Might just be a matter of time. Derek Welch looks very fast out of the gate here through 3 and 4. Oh, a little wiggle from the 93 of Howell. Don't know if there was some contact there or not. Nevertheless, cost him a little bit of momentum. Welch to the outside. Chris Goins now in behind the one. Top lane, the yellow, blue, and white Popple machine. Brant Morrow up into the fourth position. Number 71 truck. 60% fuel load tonight. I'm curious to see how long that's going to take these drivers on a full tank of fuel. I'm going to guess maybe 29, 30 laps in that range. We'll see. Still working to the outside for the race lead on Mitchell Howell. Howell still on the bottom. It doesn't seem like anybody wants to tuck in behind Howell right now. Seems that mid to upper lane seems to be the preferred place to be, at least in the sweeping corners 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Not so much down through the dog leg. Guys really take it to the bottom. Howell's doing a good job though, fighting back. Usually we see these trucks get to that outside lane and the guy at the bottom just can't maintain the pace. You're able to carry so much more speed out of the turns. Howell doing a good job. The problem is he's going to burn up his tire trying to fight for that spot. Now is not the time. Again, only 20 laps into this 100-lap event. Welch with the lead into 3. We'll see if he can get it back to the stripe and lead the lap. Howell going to battle back on the bottom again. Chris Goins, that number 41 truck, looks pretty racy back there as well. I think if you get him out into some clean air, he might be able to run away from some of these guys too, though the draft does kick in here quite a bit. Derek Welch finally clear of Howell, takes the race lead here, coming to lap 23. Now Howell under attack from Chris Goins in the top side, the yellow Popple truck, the Ford F-150. At the line, Chris Goins has P2, and he's clear of Howell. Howell now back to P3. Now he's got company in the form of Brant Morrow and Drew Blaze. Blaze alongside. Back to the comment from Matt Sisler about James Ray and how that caution really helped him. Remember, he had to do that drive-through penalty the first lap. Now Ray running in the 10th position. He's recuperated pretty quickly on that. Starting to cut his way through the field. I think he's going to be a contender before this one's out. Again, quarter distance now from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. James Ray running in the 10th spot. Heath Snyder working to the outside. He's trying to take it away. Closer to the front of the field you get, the harder they get to pass. Tristan Sykes has slipped back to the 9th spot again. Maybe just a tire strategy here for the 99. 2 sets available over the wall to change tonight. We'll see if these guys wait till after halfway to start changing tires. Some might. Chris Klein and Sean Roberts doing some battle here for a moment. The 66 of Roberts, the white and red truck. And then the 51 of Chris Klein, the red and white truck. Crossover coming from the 66 of Roberts. Now he dives it to the bottom. Chris Klein up in the middle lane. Roberts can't keep it pinned on the white line. He's going to have to check up a bit. Klein's going to maintain the spot. Tristan Sykes is going to take a look to the outside. Almost some contact with the 66 of Sean Roberts and Tristan Sykes. Sykes still trying to work that outside. Switching lanes here. The 99 of Sykes goes down to the bottom. Turns 3 and 4. Sykes had the run. He still has to lift just a bit to keep from sliding up into Sean Roberts. On to turn number 4. It's going to be a drag race to start finish. So far, Roberts is going to keep it for now. Sykes still challenging. Heath Snyder in the 29. He's coming into the frame as well. He's going to be a challenger for both of these drivers. This the battle for the 8th position. Sykes loses that fight for now. Now Snyder's attacking him for 9th. Back out in front, Derek Welch still with the lead. A truck length between the 1 and the 41 of Chris Goins. I think Goins may just settle in here and ride in behind Derek Welch for the time being. Take care of his stuff, take care of his tires. Again, these guys are going to have to manage their tire usage throughout this race. Meanwhile, Drew Blaze, Mitchell Howell fighting for positions again. Howell maybe changed up his line here, found a better way to work it around. Stayed within the top 5. He was fighting Drew Blaze for that 3rd spot. Blaze takes it for now. We'll see if Howell mounts a charge to take it back. Drew Blaze, not a whole lot of room, but he slides it down in front of the 93. Mitchell Howell off the pace. I think he's hitting pit lane here. Brandon Domain's going to follow him in. So lap 31 up on the board. First pit stops under green taking place. Mitchell Howell pulls it down. Brandon Domain follows him in. See who else comes down pit lane maybe the next couple of laps here. These are the earliest 2. Again, Howell was pushing very hard early on, trying to stay out in front. Maybe just burned up too much fuel, didn't save any. This could be the true maximum distance on fuel. We'll see. Sean Roberts now in pit lane. Now, I didn't even look or pay attention. I should be, so shame on me for that. But Brandon Domain, Mitchell Howell appear to have not taken any tires. Sean Roberts locks him up, getting to his pit stall. It's going to be fuel only for the 66 as well. He'll dump the clutch and go. So everybody's going to make a pit stop here under the green flag. They're going to lose a lap. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. The place is only a mile and a half. Getting around here in a hurry. But if everybody's able to make that green flag stop and the caution doesn't come out mid-cycle, it'll work its way back around. Those guys will get their laps back and go from there. Kevin Winker up the racetrack, where he was involved in our first caution tonight. Probably had to burn that fast repair. And we got the 55 down pit lane. I hope he didn't get dinged for the penalty there. He was in awful late, might have missed the commitment cone. And the way he was locking up the brakes, I don't know if he wasn't speeding. We'll see as we got a change for the race lead. Drew Blaze takes it away from Derek Welch, or does he? Alongside into turn number 3. Remember, Welch said he was battling a stomach issue earlier on. He was worried he wasn't going to be able to finish this race out. Strong a run as he's having, I think he's going to put his feelings aside and try to finish this thing, but it's amazing what being competitive and being out front in the hunt for a race win can do. not just here in the iRacing sim, but even in real life. You've got guys that they can be just miserable, dying of the flu, basically. Jump in the race car, run 400 or 500 miles, be completely gassed when it's over. But they were able to get it done. It's just part of being in the race car. It pumps up that adrenaline. Still some takers on pit road. And as we expected, Michael Eden did get some form of a penalty. I don't know if it was an unsafe entry or speeding in the pits, but he spent almost 56 seconds in the pit box. So add his pit time to a 40-second penalty, and there you have it, 55.97. It's a shame because it wasn't a bad stop. The penalty makes it a really bad stop. Brant Morrow in the pits as well, the number 71 with his Halloween-themed paint scheme. Might have to back it up here. Did he get in clean? Just barely. Morrow down and away again. Everybody taking just fuel here. Tristan Sykes, Justin Johnson, both entering pit lane. Derek Welch, Randy Coaching. The top three, it's Drew Blaze, Chris Goins, and Chris Klein. Then Heath Snyder and James Ray, the balance of the top five. Again, Ray, remember, having to take that drive-through penalty to start the race. Then we got lucky. He got the caution. Ooh, Tristan Sykes going to put right sides on. So is Justin Johnson. I find this an interesting strategy here because now they've only got one set of tires left over the wall. I guess it's not a terrible strategy. I mean, if they go another 39 laps, that puts them, I don't know, what's that, 78? So that should be enough for them to get to the end of the race on one more stop. They can bolt some fresh tires on at that point, get after it. Be in full send mode from that pit stop all the way to the checkers. More pit stops underway. Drew Blaze in the pits. He's taking tires too. I guess it's not a bad strategy if you're going to go as long as they have on that tank of fuel. All the way to the end would be my guess. As it puts them in a position where they can go one more stop and be done. So Heath Snyder as the race leader. Now he hits pit lane. We talked about that cycling everyone through. So the drivers that lost a lap at pit early, they'll eventually get those back through this. Snyder's going to take rubber as well. So that's interesting. The guys that went a little bit later opting for their first set of tires in this pit cycle. See how it plays out for everybody. James Ray is also down and away. Kevin Winker as the race leader. Remember, he was involved in that first caution, and just like that, back to the race lead, though he's going to give it up here on this pit stop, but he had a 25-plus second advantage over Sean Roberts at the time. And Winker going to do the same, but he may be in a really good shape for the end of this thing, because if he didn't take tires on that first caution that he came out, he might still have a set over the wall, and if that is the case, it'll be lap 82 when he makes his final pit stop, or even later. I don't know how far he can really stretch it, but so an 18-lap run to the finish. Again, this is all under the auspice that we don't have a caution before this one's over. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Again, they were able to go a little bit longer because of that yellow. They were able to run around here at pace speed. That helped them go a little bit further, but either way, I think everybody's good to go on one more stop. So everybody up and down the field here has made their pit stops. Should be able to go another 30, 35 laps or so before we have to see these guys down pit road again. With that, though, we're going to take our first break. Go HBR TV side by side so you guys don't miss a minute of the action. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back in Sin City, 50 laps go up on the board just past halfway. Derek Welch still leads over the 04 of Brett Guzik in that Battleship Gray, number 04. Top three, Welch, Guzik, Klein. I'm just going to make a guess here. Again, I know that first segment, so to speak, we ran with one caution flag. So again, that's going to add to the fuel economy to these trucks. But I'm going to say lap 65, you may start seeing some guys pit. I might be late, I might be early, but that's going to be my guesstimate. Most of the drivers went late 30s, 37, 38. Some even, Kevin Winker came down lap 40, but again, he might have topped off after his incident. Brandon Domain back down pit lane here. This is interesting. I don't feel like it's been all that long since he was in the pits. Let's see what the scoop is here on the 13. Maybe trying to undercut here, bolt tires on. I don't know if you want to go all the way to the end, but maybe he took fuel only. He did. That was a 10.2 second stop on his first time in, so this might be a tire stop here just after lap 50. We're on lap 53 here, so he's past halfway. Should still have a set over the wall after this tire change. So this just might be a strategy play here for Brandon Domain. I'm not sure I like it, but we'll see how it pans out. Dawson Guzik says 18th to 2nd, not too shabby, and plenty of laps to go. He's third now. Chris Klein has gone around talking about Brett Guzik. That doesn't mean much. You know, we've seen the 04 do this a number of times. Taking a page out of the book of Drew Blaze also. Just kind of riding a little bit. Maybe put the pressure on a little here and there just to see what you're capable of compared to the competition. But save your stuff. Brett Guzik seems to be doing just that, at least for now. Running in the third spot. Guzik's right on that tailgate of the 51 right now. He's got a lot of pace. He's going to take a look here. He looked in this side 1 and 2. Now he's looking a little bit high here through 3 and 4. Might just be looking for a run. Maybe he's just keeping pace. I don't know what he's thinking. Come on. All I know is you don't ever count out that 04 truck. He's going to be a contender just about every single week. Road course, short track, super speedways, doesn't matter. Big gaggle of trucks in behind. James Ray running that 4th position in the 00. In behind him, Chris Watkins. Keith Snyder, Drew Blaze, Brian Shepard. Dawson Guzik again in the chat. The master of tire savings. Guys, if you haven't already chimed into the stream chat, I don't bite. You're welcome to come in and say hello. Tell us who you're cheering on, where you're watching from. I don't mean the bedroom or the living room. I mean like what town, what city, what state, the whole kind. It's one of my favorite things to find out where you guys are tuning in from. Once in a while, we've got Haley in the stream chat. She'll come in here. She watches from Sweden, and it is significantly later at night. She chimes in every now and then. Chris Goins going to head down pit lane. He was also one of the non-tire takers earlier on in that first round of pit stops. We'll see if it's going to be a tire stop here for Goins. I imagine it is. And there it is. It goes up on jacks, so it's going to be likely 4 tires and fuel for the 41 of Chris Goins. Indeed, it is. You know, I was just going to ask, too. I hadn't seen anybody from Winker Nation chiming in, and then Shauna Flick just says, "Go Winker!" Hashtag Winker Nation. Usually that's my whole stream chat, is all the Winker Nation folks. "41 laps to go. Derek Welch still out in front over Chris Klein. It's been an NTG race thus far. Brett Guzik sits in the 3rd position, hoping he can spoil the fun. Mitchell Howell, number 93. I worried that he's off on strategy here again. He's back in P16, makes a pit stop. He's going to take some tires here. Drew Blaze, Tristan Sykes also in the pits. Howell knows how to get it done. Even the toolbox is the right color. 4 tires and fuel for Mitchell Howell. Watch what Drew Blaze does here. I can imagine he's going to take tires again. No, fuel only for the 1. So his last stop of the race. I don't know. These guys got more wheel time than I do as of the last, I don't know, couple of years now. But I don't know if I like that. That fuel only for Drew Blaze. He's got probably 30-plus laps of fuel on board right now. So he's going to need to make a pit stop here late in this run. Could be 10 to go when it finally happens. Yeah, he can take tires. He might go with just 2. That would save him some pit stop time. That, unless you split up the stage itself. Again, they don't stage race per se, but we're going to break it down based on tires. Maybe a short pit the final time. You get the fresh rubber underneath you. You take full advantage of that throughout the final run of the race. We'll see. Drew Blaze is always good on strategy. We'll see how he pulls this one off. Meanwhile, Derek Welch still out in front. Still remaining one more pit stop. Yeah, we thought about lap 65 was when we're going to see some of these guys really start to hit pit lane, but just given that some of them aren't going to be able to make it to the end on this final stop, some might. I don't know. Top 3 really haven't separated from each other at all. It's Welch, Klein, and Guzik. James Ray running back in the 4th spot, still ahead of Chris Watkins. That's your top 5. Ryan Shepherd back in P6. So far, so good for Shepherd, having a better run. And Derek Welch from the race lead hits pit lane. Oh, locks up the rear tires, almost goes into the pit wall. Fingers crossed he got her woed down. Hopefully don't see a penalty for the 1 here. That would be devastating given how strong he's been tonight. I still think he's going to have to make one more stop unless he's real aggressive saving fuel. Scott Beardmore pulls in. So does Jarrett Woodard, Randy Coaching. He's out of pit lane. Green tape on the nose of that thing looks like teeth. Four tires and fuel, I'm thinking here for Beardmore. And that is definitely the call for the number 28. Drops the jack and the clutch, and out he goes. Kevin Grettenberger in the pit lane as well. Second round of green flag stops underway here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Now Grettenberger, it's going to be tight, but without a caution, he might be good to the end. Top 3 drivers now, James Ray, Chris Watkins, Heath Snyder. Their pit stops coming at lap 39. So they've gone 30 laps since then. If they go one more time around, they should be good to go all the way to the finish. So James Ray goes from first to worst, back to first. He's going to hit pit lane too, so he is gambling, but I think he's going to try and make a run, make this his final stop. Oh, locks him up big time. Again, hope he got her rolled down. Oh, and he's really stretching. He's running out of gas. You listen right here. Tires. I can't imagine he's out of tires already. Maybe he's just hoping if we get a caution he can take advantage, but I think he's good to go to the end. Chris Watkins finishing up. Keith Snyder also exiting pit lane. So Kevin Winker back to the point. Still needs to make his pit stop. I think the final driver to do so. His pit stop at lap 40. Oh, he is saving fuel huge. Truck's not even really running right now. There it is. Picks up the clutch here, lets it go. Really trying to stretch it here. You're going to see him hit pit lane this time. I can almost promise you that. Yep, here he comes. Kevin Winker off turn 4. He's going to hit pit lane here. He is trying to make this on one more stop, so this will be his last pit stop of the race for the 42. Goldberger Custom Homes machine down pit lane. Lap 72 now goes on the board as Drew Blaze goes back to the point. As long as there's no mistakes here for the 42, he should be in good shape for a solid finish. .43 seconds in the pit box. That's a quick stop for Kevin Winker. 4 tires and fuel. He's down and away and should be good to go to the finish. Does lose a lap, but again, we have another round of stops coming soon. So Drew Blaze out in front over Derek Welch by just over 2.5 seconds. Big time battle back here. 3 wide. Grettenberger, Klein, and Sykes off turn 4. This is the battle for the top 5. Grettenberger with the 5th spot. Klein and Sykes trying to fight. Chris Goins in the mix. Sean Roberts, Brett Guzik. You got some fast hot rods in this mix. By side for position. Chris Goins on the bottom. Chris Klein up top. Chris squared at the stripe. Klein's going to lead that one. By lead, I mean P6, but nevertheless, it's still a position. Fighting continues between these two. Meanwhile, Grettenberger has just checked out from this group. Remember, they were 3 wide together just a moment ago. Derek Welch losing a spot to James Ray, or is he? Welch fighting back on the outside here off turn number 4. It's 25 laps to go. We're going to take our final HBR TV side-by-side break. Stay with us. You won't miss a minute. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
back at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, coming to 18 laps to go. Kevin Grettenberger out in front. Pit stop coming at lap 67. It is still in question as to whether or not those drivers can make it all the way to the finish without making a stop for fuel. Derek Welch, lap 65. Brett Guzik, 68. Klein, 68. Beardmore, 66. That's the top five. Grettenberger only maintaining about a truck length between the one of Derek Welch. Into the mix here again, fresher tires and does not need to stop. He's working his way through. Certainly has more pace than the race leaders, but he is currently one lap down. If he gets by Grettenberger here, he'll be back on the lead lap. Now, with that said, if the leaders need to pit, just based on where the 42 is right now, again, Grettenberger and Welch say they have to make one more stop, even if it's a splash and go. I think Grettenberger's going to be in the catbird seat here. He'll end up taking the race lead. Again, that's just conjecture here. I don't have any data to back that up other than the pit stops that they all had made. Again, Winker very late coming down. Winker's pit stop coming lap 71. We got Cody Anderson in this stream chat. Been a long time, Cody, saying, hi, Steve. Hi, Cody. 15 laps to go. We saw Brandon Domain make his pit stop during the break. He was in a good position, but still had to come down and make that final stop to make it to the end. Winker gets his lap back, so now he runs 11th. Last car on the lead lap, at least for now. Drew Blaze in 12th. He's the first truck one lap down, so if the yellow were to come out, he'd get the lucky dog. He'd be able to cycle back around and get that lap back for free. Right now, nobody out front for the race leaders. Grettenberger and Welch, 1 and 2. Mitchell Howell back in pit lane for his final stop, but he's way off the pace, it looks like. Is he out of fuel? No, he sounds all right, under power. Winker now up into the top 10. Now again, Winker is still 31.2 seconds back from the race leader. Last lap for the race leader was a 32.07, so you can see there on the racetrack, it's about 6-8 truck lengths between the two of them. Certainly, Winker's got a lot of work to do, but if the guys behind him have to make a pit stop, his likelihood of being in a good position to win this race goes up exponentially. We could have a big-time surprise out of this. These strategy races get harder and harder to call each week because there's so many different ways to skin this cat. I hate that term. How do you know that? Grettenberger still with the race lead over Welch. Jarrett Woodard in P3, but you see how far back he is. It's about 10 full seconds. And Derek Welch pulls down pit lane with 10 laps to go to make his final pit stop. Oh, it's agonizing. If you're the one, you know this is going to euchre you. If caution comes out, things could change, but we haven't seen one since that first one. Guys have gotten it together. So now Jarrett Woodard up into the second spot. Welch sits 7th, even though he's still in the pits. We'll see what he loses here. He's only 3 spots ahead of Kevin Winker. Quick fuel. Splash and go. Winker back to start finish. I think he's going to get by Welch here before he gets up to speed. And And I think he does, yes. So there you see, we talked about that cycling through. Now Winker up into the 8th spot. Look at the pit stops here. The only drivers that are even close, really, are Heath Snyder, Chris Watkins. They pit at lap 69, respectively. Winker was 71. Remember, he was saving fuel forever on that final lap before he made the pit stop, just ensuring that he had enough. And there you see Grettenberger still in behind the 42 of Winker. Winker might be trying to save a little bit of extra fuel here. I know he's got the nose of that 42 truck out in the wind. He's breaking all that draft for the 57, so he's going to use all the horsepower he's got to cut through the wind. So 8 laps to go. Grettenberger stays on the racetrack. It's right on board with the 57. See if he's saving fuel at all. Again, we'll talk about the lift and coast. I do this almost every week because these races really turn into fuel strategy. See if he pits this time. Looks like he's coming down. He is. Grettenberger going to pull off the racetrack from the race lead here, coming to 6 laps to go. Grettenberger to make his final stop, another splash and go for the 57. This one might be closer though. Winker may cycle back through. I don't know if he's going to be far enough ahead to maintain the position above the 57. It was close with Welch and he was further back. So Winker now up into the 8th spot. Woodard in the pit lane. Grettenberger in pit lane. It's going to be tight, folks. Quick stop for the 57. 5.3 seconds. Welch was 6.6. Woodard finishes up his pit work, 6.3 seconds. Winker catching the 93 of Mitchell Howell. Howell had a strong run going early, but it's kind of gone pretty south here as he runs 20th. Howell still a lap down. If the caution comes out, though, he might be in better shape just considering. Get the lucky dog, but not a whole lot of time to get back through. 5 laps remaining here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It's gone by in a hurry. Only one caution. Race leaders Heath Snyder over Brett Guzik, Chris Watkins, Chris Klein, Brian Shepard. Still remains to be seen, though, if these guys are going to need to pit. We'll ride on with Guzik and see if he's trying to save. He is tucked in behind trying to draft. Goes to the high side. Has a run. Yeah, Guzik's trying to save. He might be able to stretch it all the way to the end. He's only saving a little bit. He's trying to fight for position as well. So you're kind of in that catch-22. Do I save fuel? Do I race for position? Well, you kind of have to do both. Guzik's going to go to the point here. 3 laps to go. Remember, Guzik had to serve his win penalty early. Had to start in the back. Jarrett Woodard working his way through. He's got fresh rubber, but he is not on the lead lap. I don't know, I think these leaders might be trying to stretch it all the way to the finish on fuel. Hopefully they don't start running out. Heath Snyder still with the lead, but not by much. Guzik edges out in front here, coming to 2 laps to go. I don't think these guys are going to pit. I think they're going to run it until the tanks run dry. That's the question, though. Is there enough Tiger in the tank for the 04 of Brett Guzik or Heath Snyder or Watkins? Do they have enough? We know Winker's going to be in good shape. He's just sitting there waiting to pick up the scraps if these guys falter in any way. Snyder now back out in front over Chris Watkins. I think Guzik realizing that he may not have enough fuel to make it a challenge for this win. He's just trying to race for points now. Back in that 3rd spot. Final lap from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Heath Snyder trying to stretch it. His pit stop lap 69. Guzik was 68. I don't think he's got enough unless he continues to save like he is. Down the backstretch for the final time. The 29 of Heath Snyder. He was strong to start the season. faltered a little bit, but now back out in front here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Off turn number 4 for the final time. Snyder leading over Chris Watkins. Checkered flag in the air. Snyder wins it from Las Vegas. Second was Watkins. Guzik third. He manages to stretch the fuel the longest. Kevin Winker finishes with the top 5 and 4th. Strong run for the 42. One more lap, the results would have been very different, I think. But coulda, shoulda, woulda, doesn't mean nothing. Snyder takes the win. And I think he's out of gas. He's coasting. Nope, he's out of fuel. No burnouts for the 29 this week. I think the truck has shut itself. No, it's still got some RPM on the gauge. I don't know if he's got enough to do the burnouts. We're going to find out. Maybe he's going to get a push. I don't know. Brandon Domain trying to push the 29 at least back to start finish so he can park that truck for a good photo. Well, no smoke show tonight from Las Vegas. We're going to step aside, get our break out of the way, and have our top 3 finishers in the booth after this. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Sgarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, the Garza Law Firm Las Vegas 100 in the books. Heath Snyder taking the checkered flag, trying to stretch the fuel all the way to the end, and he did just that. Let's pull the driver of the number 29 up into the broadcast booth. Get a word with our race winner, the driver of the number 29. It's Heath Snyder. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Heath, congratulations, man. You started this season out with a bang. You were fast right out of the gate and kind of slipped a little bit in the last handful of races, but man, you're back with a vengeance here. Made the fuel last all the way to the checkered flag. No burnout to speak of. Did it run out there at the end?
Oh, it sputtered right at the line, just like at Auto Club.
Well, you take the checkered flag here at Vegas. Walk us through your race. What was the game plan? Was there a game plan?
Well, we started out with just trying to conserve tire, and then when that first caution happened, the fuel mileage kind of lined up to where we didn't need to conserve a set anymore. So it's like, all right, we can just hold steady on pace, and then started watching fuel about halfway again, and we made things work.
Certainly did make things worth. Again, a great run here tonight. Didn't lead a ton of laps, but you led the ones that counted and the ones that mattered. How do you feel about winning tonight's race?
Hey, I feel pretty good about it. Got to debut a new paint scheme, so she's 1 for 1 so far, so we'll take it.
Next week, we roll to Michigan Speedway in these trucks. That place, it's not a super speedway per se, but in these trucks, it kind of acts like one. A lot of drafting going on there. How do you feel about your shot next week?
Well, seeing that I now have to start the race in pit road, I'm not feeling too great about it because this is my 3rd win. But hopefully they wreck the field up and I can not go a lap down, and maybe we'll have a shot at another one.
Certainly looking forward to it, Heath. Congratulations, man. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, this is my first win running for Elliott Sadler Esports now. Just switched over there from Hyperforce. So shout out to Don Wheaton, Abruzzi, Grid Vision, Team Watson Setups, and all the guys back at the shop. Even though they don't work on these, I still appreciate everything they do for the team.
Sounds like a plan, man. Congratulations again. Thanks for talking to us. Good luck next week in Michigan.
Appreciate you guys, and thanks for you too for putting on awesome broadcasts.
Appreciate it, man. Happy to do it. Heath Snyder, your race winner here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, now driving for Elliott Sadler Esports. We'll see if he can back it up, make it 2 in a row next week at Michigan. But, man, he has got a tall task ahead of him starting from pit lane. We'll see how it goes. Next is our runner-up, Chris Watkins, driver the number 5, working that Halloween paint scheme this week. Chris, it's Steve in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, bud.
Congratulations, another runner-up finish here at Vegas. Not for lack of trying, but a solid run nonetheless. Was there anything you could have done differently to reel in the 29?
No, there was nothing. I was half to 3/4 throttle the whole time, just trying to save fuel. I ran out just a little bit after him, so I couldn't even make a charge if I wanted to. It was just that close.
Well, we asked Heath about next week at Michigan. We'll ask you the same. Of course, drafting going to come into play significantly, even if it's only a 2-mile oval at Michigan Speedway. But what's your game plan for next week?
I'm trying to just have a solid finish. That's all I can really do week in and week out. Have no incidents and just have a solid finish. I'm trying to run down Drew Blaze in a points standing, so it's pretty tough, right? Coming from behind a little bit, so just want a clean run and just maybe a top 8, top 10, somewhere around there. I'd be happy with.
Well, it's certainly been a fun season to watch up until this point. Again, Chris, congratulations on a runner-up finish here tonight. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
You for broadcasting. Lonestar Racing, man, they do a heck of a job running this league. All my teammates, James Ray, Brant Morrow for the help, and just everybody that's watching. This is a great league to get part of. If you guys get a chance, join it and come have some fun.
All right, Chris. Well, again, nice job, and thanks for talking to us. Good luck next week.
Thanks, man.
It's Chris Watkins, your runner-up here from Vegas. Next, we're going to talk to Brett Guzik. I think the conversation is going to be about fuel. So let's bring the driver, the number 04, up into the booth. Brett, it's Steve with HBR TV. You with us?
Yeah, I've got you.
Brett, congratulations. Another top 3 finish here. Starting from the back here with that win penalty. Looked like you had the pace to contend for the race win here tonight, but I don't think you had the fuel. It seemed like you might have to charge there late and then kind of abandon it a few laps to go. Did you have enough to really keep fighting, or was that all she had?
Yeah, I think in the second run, I got battling with a few people, and it kind of held me up a bit, and I should have been saving a lot earlier, around the midway point. I think a few people had fallen to the back of the pack and just kind of were cruising for a little bit and allowed them to get, a lap on us, going into the last pit stop, or at least the ideal last pit stop for all the fuel savers, and it made it so that the guys who ended up 1-2, they pitted a lap later than me, so I had to kind of make up a lap on them while also trying to make it to the end. And I got close. The pace was just too quick to be able to save that much there at the end, and that's ultimately what happened.
Well, as it was, the guys that finished ahead of you, I think they had a lap on you as far as that pit stop was concerned, and they both ran out as soon as they crossed the stripe. So a good job well done on your part, really, to save as much fuel as you did just to maintain that third position. So job well done.
Yep, thanks.
Brett, next week we go to Michigan. Of course, we talked to our top 2 about that. Things change a bit because we're going to draft significantly more there than we did here tonight. Fuel's certainly going to be a conversation. Tires certainly going to be a conversation. What do you think is going to be the key to success next week out at MIS in the Irish Hills?
It'll be, maybe fuel mileage will come into play there if we, the last couple pit stops are kind of like on that threshold, maybe that are like 2 laps out of our window or something like. You might see some people just go for it like they did here. You can't. It's not super easy to run away from people just like it is here with the trucks. So I feel like it'll play out relatively similar to the way it did tonight, and it all depends on fuel mileage.
Well, that's what it's going to come down to. Brett, again, congratulations to top 3 finishing and starting from the back. Job well done. Congratulations there. Good luck next week. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
Just like to thank you guys for putting this on HBR TV and broadcasting for Lonestar Racing. I've raced in a few of their leagues and I've been a part of a few of their endurance teams, and it's always been fun. So thank you guys.
All right, Brett, thanks for talking to us, man. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks.
Brett Guzik, your 3rd place finisher. I'm just kind of foreshadowing. We'll talk to you next week. Means he'll finish top 3, but there's always that chance. You never know. He always runs well regardless of where we're at. I'd still keep an eye out for Brett Guzik next week at Michigan, especially considering the fact that he doesn't have to worry about that wind penalty that he had to deal with tonight. His qualifying position, that's where he's going to roll off from at Michigan. So certainly going to be a contender. With that, let's take a look at our race results before we get too far out of this one. Of course, our top 3 were Snyder, Watkins, Guzik. Kevin Winker had the strategy pegged. He had it nailed. I think he might have waited a lap too long. Coming down to lap 71 for his fuel, he finishes 4th. Drew Blaze was 5th. Chris Goins a solid P6. James Ray, after going to the back at that first lap, drive-through penalty for the 00, he finishes P7. Kevin Grettenberger was 8th. Brandon Domain comes home 9th. Derek Welch was 10th. The 99 of Tristan Sykes finishes in the 11th spot. Sean Roberts was 12th. Brent Morrow finishes in the 13th spot. 14th was Chris Klein. Randy Coaching 15th. Justin Johnson 16th. Brian Shepard 17th. Had a stronger run than his finish would indicate, but again, strategy kind of biting the 88 here. Jarrett Woodard finishes in the 18th position. 19th finisher was Mitchell Howell. He's going to have to wait another week. Had a strong run early, but finishes 19th, 1 lap down. Scott Beardmore was 20th. Ken Blackburn 21st. And Michael Eden finishes out in the 22nd spot, 31 laps down. Mitchell Howell says in the stream chat, I tried. Yes, you did, sir, and you did well until the end. It just didn't work out. Again, there's always next week. Guys, I got to thank you all for tuning in, of course, in the stream chat. That's been getting busier and busier every single week. I do appreciate that. It makes my job easier. Gives me something to look at in those down times during the race where it's not crazy exciting. It happens in every series, every league, every race. It's just something you can't avoid. But you guys really make my job easier by being there in that stream chat, so thank you. I got to ask, though, again, if you haven't already done so, go into the stream on YouTube, youtube.com/@HBRTV and the number 1, and like the stream. Just click the like button. We don't charge anybody to hit the likes, or we don't ask for stars or anything crazy. It's all free. Just hit the like button. Help us out. We do appreciate it. It gets this specific stream out into a wider audience. It helps us here at HBR TV. It also helps the league get fresh eyeballs on it. As Brett Guzik had said, get some more people in here to run this series. It is a great league to be a part of. We've seen that time and time again. We've been broadcasting for LSR for quite a while now. I think this is our 4th or 5th season with them, so we're looking forward to more. Of course, they've got us signed up for the next season. That's going to be the Cup Series. I think they're running the next gen car. So we're just going to continue on with some competitive action here with LSR. Also, if you haven't, check us out on the website, hbrtv1.com. Not a whole lot of updates going on as of late, but again, you can still use that as a location to find the live stream as long as I don't forget to post it. Sometimes I do, but even if I do forget, you can click whatever link is there. It might be an old link from the previous race, but it'll still take you to the YouTube page where you can still find the current broadcast if I'm lazy or if I forget. So, nevertheless, give us some traffic onto the website. We do appreciate that as well. It also helps. And I guess that's going to wrap it up. Again, I'm Steve Singer, congratulating Heath Snyder for taking the race win here in the Garza Law Firm Las Vegas 100. We'll see you guys next week at Michigan. Thanks for watching.